The smartphone market in the United States is getting very interesting right now, because phones that launched for around $1,000 are suddenly dropping below $500 on the renewed market. And that creates a really interesting situation. Instead of buying a mid-range phone, you might actually be able to buy a real flagship. Welcome back. This is Evan Pierce, where we break down tech without the hype. Today, we're looking at 3 flagship smartphones that you can now find for under $500 in the US market. And honestly, some of these deals are pretty surprising. Let's start with the one that probably shocked the market the most, the iPhone 15 Pro. When Apple launched this phone, it started at $999. But now, in 2026, renewed units on platforms like Amazon are showing up under the $500 mark. And what makes this even more interesting is that the phone still feels incredibly modern. You're getting the A17 Pro chip, which is still one of the most powerful smartphone processors available. You also get Apple's 120Hz ProMotion display, excellent build quality, and some of the best video recording capabilities in the smartphone world. And perhaps the biggest advantage is software support. Apple typically supports its devices for many years, which means the iPhone 15 Pro should continue receiving updates well into the future. At under $500, it suddenly becomes one of the most compelling Apple deals available today. Next up is the Google Pixel 9 Pro. This phone also launched around the $999 price point, positioning itself as Google's premium flagship. But like many flagship phones, its price has started to drop in the renewed market. And now you can find some listings getting very close to the $500 range. The Pixel series has always been known for one thing in particular: camera performance. Google's image processing consistently produces some of the best photos you can get on a smartphone. Photos tend to look sharp, natural, and well-balanced, even in difficult lighting conditions. But cameras are only part of the story. Pixel phones also offer one of the cleanest Android experiences available. You get fast Android updates, useful AI features, and a software experience that feels simple and refined. For people who prioritize photography and smart software features, the Pixel 9 Pro remains a very attractive flagship option. And finally, we have the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. This phone launched in 2023 with a starting price of $1,199. But today, in the US renewed market, it's often available for around $400 to $450. And honestly, that's an incredible value. You're getting a massive 6.8-inch AMOLED display, a 120Hz refresh rate, and the powerful Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy processor. Performance is still excellent for everyday tasks, gaming, and multitasking. But where the S23 Ultra really stands out is the camera system. The phone features a 200-megapixel main camera and Samsung's powerful periscope zoom system. That level of camera versatility is something most mid-range phones simply cannot match. And of course, the S23 Ultra also includes the S Pen, which adds a level of productivity that very few smartphones offer. So when you look at the situation in 2026, something interesting becomes clear. Phones that once cost around $1,000 are now competing directly with mid-range devices. Which raises a pretty interesting question. Are mid-range phones even worth it anymore? If you're shopping in the $400 to $500 range, buying an older flagship might actually be the smarter move. If you enjoyed this breakdown, consider subscribing for more honest tech insights. And let me know in the comments, which of these phones would you choose under $500? And I'll see you in the next breakdown.